A while back, we did a video on the most powerful bounty hunter in Star Wars, which went over the story of Durge, a bounty hunter who was a part of a species known as the Jedi that had regenerative abilities which allowed them to survive nearly anything, from being ripped apart by blasters to even being blown into tiny bits. So why wasn't Durge used as the template to create the clone army over Jango Fett, who was a mere human? There are a few reasons to why Durge wasn't used. First off, Durge himself was nowhere to be found during the time period when plans of the clone army were first being put into motion. He was literally buried underground, a position he purposely placed himself into as a means to slowly heal his body after he was brutally tortured by Mandalorians, whom had captured the rogue bounty hunter after he started to slaughter them for bloodlust and revenge as they killed his mentor long ago. He remained buried for over 60 years and only came out fully healed a few months after the start of the Clone Wars, at which point the Jango Fett clone army was already finished and at full use. Those of the same species of Durge were also far and few in the galaxy, to the point that most didn't even know of their existence. The few of his kind that remained in the galaxy were pacifists and only cared about learning philosophy, and likely would have rejected an offer to be cloned for an army, seeing it as beneath them. Plus, even if Durge was around during the time period where the clone template selection process was happening, it's very likely that the Kaminoans wouldn't have been able to make proper clones from him quick enough, as his species biology would have been far too complex for them. When Plagueis first came to the Kaminoans, he originally wanted to make a clone army of Yanchori warriors, who were a species that were resistant to the Force. However, the scientists explained to him that it would be very difficult for them to clone such a species for various reasons, including making them complicit to orders. Humans were chosen as they were easy to be cloned within a short period without many worries of numerous defects happening. Durge's species was super complex due to their insane regenerative abilities, as seen by the cybernist doctor that created Durge's body armor and combat suit, explaining to him that he nearly wasn't able to attach the suit onto him as his body kept trying to regenerate over the implants. So seeing how installing a combat suit into Durge was super difficult, trying to clone his species with hopes of not having too many defects would have been nearly impossible for the Kaminoans, especially for the short amount of time they were given to create such an army. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lore Master. Be sure to subscribe for more Star Wars lore videos like these in the future, and may the Force be with you.